Dr. Clyde Muse. And if you want to know something about Dr. Clyde Muse, stay tuned to the Clara Luper radio show. Marilyn Hildred is your independent all-state agent located at 730 Britain Road. The telephone number is one that you've got to remember. You've got to remember 843-0811 for all of your insurance needs. That's Marilyn Hildred, and this program is brought to you by your Allstate agent. You know Marilyn. You grew up with her. You know Marilyn. Marilyn Hildred. And the telephone number again is 843-0811. When you think of child care and child development, what do you think of? I know. You think of Johnson's Jardinas, located at 1643 Northeast 50th Street. The telephone number is 424-4656. Johnson's Jardinas. Johnson's Jardinas. You're exactly right. 1643 Northeast 50th Street. Let me repeat that address again. 1643 Northeast 50th Street. The telephone number is 424-4656. What's so exciting about Johnson's Jardinas? Is it the library? Is it the training? Is it the love that the young people receive there? I want you to know it's a combination of all of it. You can call Mrs. Gloria Matthews at 424-4656. Charles Smith said you can have your cake and eat it too at Leo's Barbecue, 3631 North Kelly in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The telephone number is 424-5367. This portion of our program is brought to you by CP's Catfish and Miss Merlin's Gumbo. Have you been to the fair lately? You haven't? Well, you have missed the thrill of going to CP's Catfish Cafe and Miss Merlin and eating Miss Merlin's Gumbo. Miss Merlin's Gumbo is a combination of gumbo from Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. Hundreds of people have enjoyed the gumbo. Gumbo, Marilyn Hildred's Gumbo, and CP's Catfish. It's no secret. CP's Catfish is the best in the world. Don't take my word for it. Just come out to the fair and look at the people that's standing in line. Where are you going? I'm going to CP's Catfish Cafe. Now, many of you have told me that, Clara, I just can't find you. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. On the north side of the Travel and Transportation Building, you will find CP's Catfish Cafe and Miss Merlin's Gumbo. Okay, now, which way shall you go? You know where that big airplane is out to the fairground? Well, when you see that airplane, you come straight south, and you will see CP's Catfish and Miss Merlin's Gumbo. I want you to come out. You better come out early and get your CP's Catfish and Miss Merlin's Gumbo. What's going on at Tinkerfield? We didn't know. We didn't know the discrimination that we have been told that exists at Tinkerfield. We didn't know about it. However, we knew a similar case of discrimination at the Robins Air Force Base. That's when 450 Defense LA employees lost their job to a private contractor in February. The government promised that they would be given priority consideration for Air Force and other Defense Department jobs. However, that promise was not fulfilled. At least 126 former employees of the Defense Distribution Depot at Robbins have been placed in other jobs at the base. But that leaves off over 300 more. At least 24 black employees have also filed a lawsuit claiming that the agency violated equal opportunity laws by favoring white employees in the priority placement program. That's according to the union leader, Larry Barnes. The Air Force and Defense Department say they are investigating the complaints. Now, in Oklahoma, at Tinker Air Force Base, they say that the blacks out there are faced with the same problem. Out at Tinker, they say that unfair labor treatment based on racial discrimination. Now, let me tell you what they say. The main issues are focused on no promotions for black people. The black race is constantly being passed over to our friends, buddies, associates, and even family members. Blacks have been told that they are not qualified for supervisory positions, yet they train others for that position. Jobs that have been applied for by blacks have been filled with people with less amount of seniority and qualifications. Many jobs at Tinker have not even been advertised, yet management somehow fill these ghost positions. Qualified jobs for blacks have not been open to see who's eligible for those jobs. Management takes personnel and work them out of their class series to keep from paying overtime. As a whole, at Tinker, the black race want the same rights as everyone else in the job force. They would like to see a system that would benefit everyone, a system that would allow the black race to be all that they could be. Advancement is a perfect example. The blacks at Tinker would like to see the jobs competitive and give black people the opportunity to prove that we have the ability to perform any task that comes with any job. Jobs that have been filled with people less qualified than blacks because of their means of getting the information out by telephone, by word of mouth from buddy system, fax or email. People having knowledge of computers find a way of placing certain names on certain lists. When black people find out how the system is manipulated, management places a halt to the crossing over from DLA to Air Force. Favoritism through bosses. Now, since DLA has taken over, the blacks at the Tinker say that they have been suffering unfair treatments, no promotions, no wage grade leader positions, and many have suffered demotions. Did you hear me? They say they have unfair reassignments. They are unable to be competitive with Air Force jobs. As DLA employees, they are not eligible to apply. The appraiser system is unfair. Everyone receives the same rating regardless as to work behavior, quality of work, tardiness, and work performance. The blacks have been re-promoted back to positions, and they had to go through EEO to do it. And the blacks out there, and this is a sad part of it, say they have no confidence in the union. Well, there will be a meeting that I want you to go to on Tuesday, September 12th, from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock. The meeting will be held at 4502 Northeast 23rd Street. That's between Sooner and Coltrane at the Grenada Club. And that's Tuesday, September 12th. Now, what's actually happening? They are bringing the attorney from Atlanta, Georgia, who is on that case, who was on the case in Atlanta, to Oklahoma City. Now is the time to make your voices heard. Come here, Attorney Adam Cunty from Atlanta, Georgia. That's Tuesday, September 12th, from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. We don't know what's happening, and we continue to tell you that Jim Crow is not dead. Jim Crow is just here. Now, we can call him Junior Jim Crow or what have you, but he is still here. I will have to continue to thank you for everything you have done for me. You remembered me in ways that I have not even dreamed about. Your cards, your gifts, your flowers, and all are things that I shall never forget. And on behalf of my family, I would like to say thank you. Thank you to each one of you that have remembered me. And many of you were not able to see me personally and shake my hand, but you remembered me. And thank God for each one of you. Last Saturday, we went to Grayson to a picnic, and the picnic turned out to be more than a picnic. It was a family reunion. Oh, if you could have seen the people from Grayson and Hoffman under the leadership of Gene Ford, you would have been so proud. It was something to remember. We went to the new community center in Grayson, Oklahoma, air conditioned, beautiful center. And you have never seen the food. You know, one thing about the people from Grayson and Hoffman, they know how to cook. If you don't believe it, take my word for it. Those are the cookingest people that I've ever seen in my life. They had everything ready to go. And I would like to salute all of you people from Grayson and Hoffman. And it was so great for me to come home to Grayson and Hoffman. Calvin, you missed it last week. They had sweet potato pies, and you cannot find two people that can cook a sweet potato pie alike. Each sweet potato has a different taste. Peach cobblers, apple cobblers, turkey dressing. That was something. Calvin, I'm sorry you missed it,
Oh,
but your
Mom,
sister and your cousin, your
they
aunt
made up
really
for it. I
enjoyed it.
could tell.
And I
They were
really
talking
had a
about it
time.
all week. But Mom, this is a beautiful Saturday morning. We are getting closer to the Great Oklahoma State Fair, and we're getting ready out there. CP's Catfish, Merlin's Gumbo. We will be located on Stagecoach Road on
Again.
the north side of the Travel and Transportation Building, where we will be serving the very best, the most economical, the best food that you're going to have there at the Great Oklahoma State Fair. We want you to come in. There are going to be some great rides, some great shows going on at the fair, but the best food, let me say it again, the best food that you're going to find at the State Fair will be at CP's Catfish, will be at Merlin's Gumbo. But Mom, we have a call on the line that is anxious to talk to us because she's a fantastic student there at Millwood School, and I'm anxious to hear her report this morning. Good morning, Coco. How are you doing?
Fine. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter. As you know, last Monday was Labor Day, and I hope that everyone had a good one. And don't forget, the NAACP Youth Council meetings are every Monday night at 7 o'clock, and I hope to see you there. Always remember, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter.
All right, way to go, Coco. Coco, it's so good to have you again this year. This is Coco's, what, about sixth year on the radio, fifth year on the radio? Way to go, Coco. We are all so proud of you, not only on what you're doing here on the radio broadcast, but what you're doing there at Millwood School, what you're doing at the NACP Youth Council meetings as vice president in charge of several different projects. You go, Coco. You just keep on going. You know, this is an exciting time, Mom, because as Coco said, we've gone through Labor Day. The schools are back in operation. The students have prepared themselves. The teachers are prepared. The bus drivers are prepared. The administrators are prepared. This promises to be one of the very best years in Oklahoma City public school history. And I'm just looking forward to it and seeing the results not only of our tests, but in our athletic activities, in our band activities. I know that once again, I'm counting on my Northeast High School band, my Douglas High School band, my Millwood band to excel once again when it comes around to state competition, not only in marching type things, Mom, but in orchestra. And we need to get one of these days during the course of the show, we need to get some of those band directors out here and talk to them because they've done a fantastic job. Excuse me, Coco, but that word is very definite. But they have done a great job in making sure that those young people with musical abilities have gone on and have exceeded and have excelled because some of those guys that have been at these different schools are now back and they're working in Oklahoma City public school systems. We're going to see a great difference in things that are happening here. But we're ready. We are ready for the state fair. We are ready for all of the activities that will be going on this week, and there are a lot of activities going on, Mom. And I know that this is a special program, but because we're talking about a minister who has come to Oklahoma City was done a fantastic
Just a
job.
minute now. I'm
No,
going to tell that
you're
story,
gonna tell
sir.
that story. Okay,
Calvin, don't
okay.
ever forget that.
Don't ever forget that. But we want to remind you to call that friend, call that neighbor, and invite them to be a part of this, the Clara Luper Radio Show, the very best show in Oklahoma.
Thank you, Calvin. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and don't you forget it. This is a show that you have waited on. People have been calling me, asking me who am I going to endorse, and I want you to know that I'm not in the endorsing business, but
Endorsed
I
for what, Mom?
endorse for any political office, but
Oh,
I am
you
in
don't
the
have any special.
exposing business.
You don't have any
I'm in the
special person.
exposing business. I'm not in the endorsing business. I'm going to expose you and your stand on issues, and I would like to.
Oh,
I've
this should
always
be
invited
exciting.
Representative Cox out, but Representative Cox has not made it out. I would like to
That's a
let
very
everybody
interesting
know.
situation there. I look forward
Yeah,
to
I
hearing from
understand that
Representative Cox and from
Steve
the
Cloudis is running
Steve
against
Cladis. I look forward to hearing that interview. When will that be
OPO
coming
and
up?
whenever they want to, they are always welcome on the Clara Luper Radio Show
What
because
do
I
they
think
have to do?
people
What
call me.
besides you
They have to
asking
call
them?
me.
Okay.
Okay.
So there it is. Representative Cox, Representative Torrey, uh, Al Mertens,
Al,
Steve
yes,
Cladis,
yes.
Cladis. All of you are invited to be a part
Of
of
the
the Clara
Clara Luper
Luper
Radio
Radio
Show.
Show.
Sure, you are invited.
Labor Day.
Yes.
We just passed that. You know, Mom, this is a Labor Day. I'm not quite sure what the meaning means on that, because does that mean those
I'm
who
not
have
explaining Labor Day today.
you're not explaining
No,
Labor Day
because there
today?
was a story that came out that people have been calling me
Well,
about
you know,
all
on
week.
Labor Day and to get fired, that brings about a different change in your life.
Kevin, I'm not the
because
only person that ever got fired on a
oh,
job.
definitely
I'm not
not.
ashamed of the fact that I got fired chopping cotton, and
Chopping cotton, Mom, you got fired chopping cotton.
I really did,
How
and I
could
was
you get
making
fired chopping
75
cotton?
cents a day, and the lady that fired me was Mrs. Della Bennett from Hoffman, Oklahoma. And you say to me, why do I love Hoffman? I love Hoffman because I love Hoffman. That's why I love Hoffman, and I love Grayson. And in Hoffman and Grayson, we learn how to love each other. Sure, I love Miss Della Bennett, but she sure fired me, and paid me 38 cents. That was quite interesting. Today is a very beautiful day because you are here. We've heard a lot of talk this week about the man that died on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. We've had a lot of different conversations about how he died, where he died, and who's responsible. Once again, I would like to remind you that there will be a meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock at the NACP Senior Branch Headquarters, Northeast 4th Street in the Jimmy Stewart's building concerning that. And all of you with information and interest should be there in order to participate. I'm expecting Mrs. Arita Wright, who is the sister of the Mr. Bennett, who was killed, to call us because she has a special something that she wants to say to all of you. Mrs. Arita Wright, please call the telephone number out here, 672-1220.
Well, Mom, you never guess who's on the line.
Why should I guess, Cal?
Because you have no reason to guess, but if you were to guess, you would know that it is Arita Wright. Good morning, Mrs. Wright. How are you doing on this beautiful Saturday morning here in Oklahoma City, live and in living color? And welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show.
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Mrs. Wright, first I would like to express my sincere sympathy to you and the Bennett family on the loss of your brother.
Thank you.
I know that's been a terrible hurt. Turn your radio down just a bit for me, please. I know it's been a terrible blow to your family, and I know that you need some help and you're talking to thousands of people, and would you express to them exactly what you need?
Yes, I'm need to get some memorial funds to help my brother burial for Tuesday. My brother didn't have any type of insurance, and if I can get some money to, help bury him, that would be appreciated.
All right, now where should the people send the money to?
They could send it to Temple & Son. He has been really helpful and patient through all of this, and I really appreciate his help.
All right, now let me make sure your brother was Bill Bennett.
Yes,
And we aren't sure how he was killed, right?
Right.
All right. But we know he was killed on the northeast side of Oklahoma City, right?
Correct.
There are some that say that he was beaten to death by the police.
Uh-huh.
There were others say that he was strangled. We do not know, but we do know that you need some help. How much help do you need at this time?
Well, his burial um, ceremony is going to run 2,600 at right now. I haven't collected any funds for that. But anything that you can do would be much appreciated.
Okay, Rita. Now, how can the people get in contact with you?
They can call me at 478-7227 or 550-8265. That's my cell phone number.
Oklahoma City. What is your telephone number?
550-8265.
All right, and they can drop by Temple's Funeral Home and leave the money, right?
Right.
Thank you so very kindly.
Thank you.
And Oklahomans are caring people. They do care, and they do understand. So I'm sure that they will respond. Thank you so very kindly.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Calvin,
Yes, Mom.
Oklahoma's people are caring, and certainly I'm sure that they will do what they can. The funeral services are scheduled for 11 o'clock on Tuesday. And those of you in Oklahoma City, all you have to do is to go by Temple Funeral Home and leave a donation saying that you want to be a part of helping somebody. It's easy to go
Helping
to church.
somebody.
Yes, it's easy to go to church and sing all these beautiful songs and shout. But then when it comes down to helping somebody, that's when we leave our Holy Ghost sometimes.
Well, that's some
at the
people,
church.
Mom, because Oklahoma
No,
City, as you said.
I said Oklahoma City is caring, and I'm sure the people are going to care. We are not interested in why he did not have any insurance, because there are many of you out in radio land who does not have insurance. And if you die today, somebody will have to help bury you. And if you don't have any insurance, or if you're not sure about your insurance, why don't you call an insurance agent? We have a large number of black insurance agents along with white insurance agents in Oklahoma City. It's too late to get insurance after you die, so you're going to have to get it before you die. So I'm asking you to respond, and I mean to respond to a need. Now, it's easy to say Jesus is going to do it, but Jesus works through people. And I've never seen, and I've never read, maybe I'm wrong, in the Bible where Jesus helped somebody without them helping themselves. And we can help ourselves by helping others. What you really get credit for in life is what you do for others. This is the Clara Luper radio show, reminding you that the state fair will start on next Friday. And guess what?
Guess what, Mom?
CP's Catfish Cafe is already out to the fairground. Everything is getting ready. Oh, it is so exciting, and the fair people. Calvin, what have you done out to the fair?
Oh, Mom, we've done so much out there, and it feels, this is the state fair, and I've been a part of the state fair, I guess, since 1819 Northeast Park Street, when the fair was being held there, where Douglas High School is now. And Merlin and I used to park cars, Merlin, Charles Sledge, the Kings, all over Connie and Charles. We'd park cars there in our yards for people to attend the state fair. So I guess I could say that the association with the fair has gone back a long, long way. We've seen the rides come in. We've seen the concessionaires come in. But now, this year, the past 9 years, we've been a part of the state fair, not only as participants, but as entrepreneurs there. And it has really been good. As we were setting up during this past week, people have come by. Some of the guys that have come from out of state, and they said, what time, when will it be up? Because we want our CP's Catfish. Where's that gumbo lady? What time will her trailer be here? And the excitement that these guys that have traveled across the nation and been on no telling where, they come in there and they come by the space looking for us and hoping that we will be there. And then when they see us setting up to actively help set up, because of the fact they said, man, now if we help you, will we get a discount? Of course, my comment is you will get a discount, but it will be near the end of the fair, probably around October the 4th.
When is the fair over?
I think October the 1st, you know.
Okay,
A lot of these guys.
and we
But they know that.
let
But
us
then they're
emphasize
half
the
of that.
fact that we don't set the prices out to the
Right.
fair.
That is another thing. And then, but these people that are coming in now realize that the state fair is a business. It is regulated by the Oklahoma State Fair Board, and the prices are set by the Fair Board. And matter of fact, there have been times when we set one price, we suggested one price, the Fair Board has come back with another. But that has nothing to do with the excitement, with the educational opportunities, with the fantastic opportunities that you will have just being a part of the fair, to go there into the barns. And I enjoy going to the barns. And I'm not very much of as you say, a country person. But then I love going there and seeing what these young people, what these people have done with their horses, with their cows, with their sheep, with their pigs, to get them ready for showtime. And showtime is the State Fair of Oklahoma. So as you come to the fair, don't just ride all the rides. Don't just go up and down each and every avenue and look at all the different balloons, different activities, and different things you can win. But go in there and look at some of the exhibits. You're going to find some great tips, not only on redecorating your home, on spas, on the plants. I love the plant things there. But go through there and see some of these people that are doing some championship caliber horses and caliber cattle and pigs and things and sheep that have shown before in different fairs across this state, but have come here to the great Oklahoma State Fair, where they will be there for you to see, and it will be an inspiration to you. I challenge those kids out there, those young people out there, those parents, to bring your kids out there and to see what can be done. There's so many different things going on at the state fair. I mean, a one-day affair is not enough. Of course, I want you to come by and enjoy the great food at CP's Catfish and Merlin's Gumbo, but also I want to challenge you to come out there and to see your mind, see what can happen when you expand your mind. When you work in a group, there are a group of ministers that they're at the state fair. Their whole function is to come around throughout all the exhibits, throughout all of the concessionaires that are there, and to minister to these people who oftentimes, like this Saturday I'm here, but next Saturday I doubt if I have an opportunity to be here live and in color in the studio. But then we will be there at the state fair, and they're the chaplains of the state fair. They do a fantastic job. You got the police, the fire, but then you have the great personalities also of all these people combined. And that little area there on Northwest 10th Street becomes a whole great city, and it's a city that I'm sure that you will enjoy, because we're there. The food is great. I know that CP's Catfish, we have the softest seats, we have the best service, we have the best food, we got the hottest French fries, we got the coldest drinks. Everybody will be serving drinks there, but none will be colder than the drinks at Merlin's Gumbo, CP's Catfish. They're on Stagecoach Road on the north side of the Travel Transportation Building.
How about that old-fashioned barbecue?
That old-fashioned barbecue. Now, who has that barbecue?
Yeah.
A young man that's been doing it, not this year, not last year, but for several years now. You can enjoy his barbecue down in Guthrie, but then the barbecue seems to taste better there at the State Fair. Now, he says it's the same, or he cooks it the same, but it tastes better out there. I don't know why. I guess because we have an opportunity to look up at the Needle, to see the activities there from the slingshot seat, where the people will be sitting in the seat and they be whoop going on off. But that's after they have the barbecue or right before they have the barbecue. Some people, like when the bungee jump was near CP's Catfish, we used to invite the people over after they had gone through the bungee jump. But then now we found that they come by any type of activity that they're getting ready to do. They want to make sure that they take that catfish, the gumbo. They want to know where the barbecue is. They want to know where the donuts are. They want to know where the cinnamon rolls are. And then those few, and then there's been some newlyweds that have come through there. That's what I'm thinking of now, Mom. Some people have come through there, they've gone in the Travel Transportation Building and said, I want that vehicle there. So it's open there. All you have to do is come out, be a part of this state fair. I'm sure that you're going to learn something. I'm sure that you're going to take something home with you.
Calvin, I like that ad to see if you want to love your wife, bring her to CP's Catfish Cafe and give her some
Or your
catfish. Oh,
mother-in-law. I
yeah.
love that ad too.
Yeah, see, if you, it's really something. This portion of our program is brought to you by Rollins Realty, located at 3001 Northeast 16th Street. That telephone number is 427-8000. Jackie and Vivian are ready to put you in a home. Aren't you tired of paying all that high rent? Call 427-8000. Ask for Jackie or ask for Vivian. Let me tell you what they can do. They can put you in a home that you can afford. Now that is really interesting. So many of you come to me and say, Miss Luper, I'm paying $500 a month for an apartment.
Oh, that's a very small apartment, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. But I'm telling you, I want you to call 427-8000 or 427-8000 and ask for Jackie or Vivian at Rollins Realty, 3001 Northeast 16th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Let's talk about owning homes. Let's stop just renting all the time. Let's buy a home. And you can certainly buy a home when you talk to Rollins Realty. 3001 Northeast 16th Street in Oklahoma City.
Well, when you think of homes, don't you think of discount carpet? Do we still talk about discount carpet
Carpet's on
at
Penn
new
Avenue.
locations?
But Calvin, there's a
Okay.
sale going on in
There's
Oklahoma
a sale
City.
going on.
There's a sale in Oklahoma City
Sale
on
going
clothing.
What kind of sale would that be on clothing?
Now, I am telling you, it's a sale going on.
Okay.
And that sale is going on in Oklahoma City.
Well, while you're telling me about that sale going on, I want to remind all of you that there's been a slight change in policy at Allstate Insurance, Merle and Hildreth's office, 730 West Britain Road, because we're not open on Saturday mornings any longer. And that's only temporary. That's just through the winter months. I guess we kind of like Brother Gates there. We have winter hours and summer hours. So if you plan on going and making your payment or increasing your insurance coverage or even getting new insurance, 730 West Britain Road, we're only open now Monday through Fridays from 8:30 till 6 o'clock in the p.m. Now, this is temporary. Probably after the first of the year, December, after the end of December, you'll find that the office will be open once again on Saturdays. But right now, you get great service Monday through Friday, and you really won't have a need to come in on Saturdays. You'll find it so efficient, so quick, and so economical. And plus, you get the type insurance coverage that you need. That's Merle and Hildreth's Allstate Insurance Office, 730 West Britain Road, 843-0811. Now, Mom, you're talking about a sale. What kind of sale could there be going on this weekend that all of your most intelligent listening audience needs to know?
Oh, it all will be happening at Petite Salon, located at 1917 Northeast 24. The telephone number is 427-7922. All the winter clothes are on sale. The spring clothes are on sale. It's the biggest sale of the year at 1917 Northeast 24. Go in. Marie is there. Mrs. Marie Weekly and Miss Donna Weekly will wait on you. Go to 1917 Northeast 24th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Are they here? Didn't they go to the Baptist Convention out in California? Didn't they join all the thousands of Oklahoma Cityans and from the different churches?
Not
Didn't
thousands.
they go?
Not thousands.
There wasn't thousands that
Calvin.
went? Mama, it
But
seemed
I've
like
got to tell my story.
Uh-oh, here comes
Today,
the story.
Yes,
The story.
the story. I don't know anything that I love better than talking about people that have succeeded. Somewhere I read to plan for the future, we must pay a special tribute to the past and the present. We must learn the lessons of life from those that succeed. We must pay tribute to those that have climbed the ladder of success. The past can serve us as a blueprint for the future, a future for generations to build on. Yes, the pages of history are filled with the lives of great men. Men that have changed the course of history because of their courage, because of their initiative, because they have set high aspirations, because they have achieved goals and they have become role models for all of our youth. So it is that today I'm happy to tell the story of Brother Clyde Muse, who was born in San Antonio, Texas, and who went to Roosevelt High School, finished high school and went to the Air Force and served his country with dignity for 7 years. But during that time, the Lord had a special message for Brother Clyde Muse. He wanted him to preach his gospel. He started preaching in San Antonio, Texas, and then went to Louisville, Kentucky, and preached God's word. Yes, Brother Muse had a message from the Savior. But God led him to Oklahoma City in 1964 at a small church on Massachusetts. And from there he went to the East Side Church of Christ, 36 in Prospect. But yet, God had something special for him. And he went out to what some used to call the neglected section of Oklahoma City, out in the Spencer area. It was the year 1977. He went to Spencer's Church of Christ as the pastor. The church is located at 8513 Northeast to 6th Street. He took to that church years of experience, years of dedication, years of preparation. And within a few years, he was able to add a classroom and a dining room at the price of $200,000. But Brother Muse saw more for his people. And he is called by some as a people's pastor. Because if his members are in the hospital, he is there. If they are sick, he's there. He doesn't talk about visiting the sick and what people should do. He is there. He cares for his members. He loves his members. And he loves people. To such an extent that he led a movement to create a living center for senior citizens. And it became known as the Roscoe Dungy Living Center. And he had so much faith and hope until there's a street out there named in a Greek word which means hope. Yes, Spencer's Community of Hope. Over $6 million have been spent in order to improve the living conditions of senior citizens. I'm talking about Brother Clyde Muse, an humble man, a man who does not brag about his education. But I can tell you that this young man went to Simmons University in Louisville, Kentucky, came to Oklahoma and got a BA degree from Oklahoma Christian College. That was not enough. He received his master MA degree from Oklahoma University, but that was not enough for Brother Clyde Muse. He went on to receive a doctorate degree from Oklahoma University, and he wrote his thesis on the educational philosophy of Dr. Martin Luther King. What about Dr. Muse? What about the fact that he serves on the board of trustees of the Southwestern Christian College in Terrell, Texas? That's not enough. Brother Clyde Muse, as I know him, is the first Oklahoman to become chairperson of the National Advisory Committee of Lectureship. That means all of the people in the United States. Can you imagine? He's been a member of the lectureship, but he's now the chairperson of the president, presiding in Dallas, and next year he'll be presiding presiding in Miami, Florida. They call him the pastor's pastor. All you have to do is to call Brother Muse. But his love extends beyond the borders of his church, out to people regardless to their race, regardless to their creed, or regardless to their color. Brother Muse served on the Board of Education in Oklahoma City, working for better education for our children. Not only that, he's an active member of many organizations, and he is certainly an always supporter of the NACP Youth Council, its Freedom Center, its Black History Monument, its Black History Garden. And you saw him smiling at the Clara Luper dinner, smiling because he realized that this dinner would become another part of the educational and motivational advancement of our children. Now, we cannot talk about Dr. Mukes unless we talk about his lovely wife, Lillian. It seems quite interesting that he married Lillian Adams some 52 years ago, and to this love, 9 children were born. Can you imagine a minister getting an education, taking care of a congregation, and with a family of 9 children? That's the way to increase. That's what God told us to do, and I'm very, very proud. Now, what I'm basically saying to you that tonight and today, we see people coming into Oklahoma from all across this country. I've just been informed that a busload is here from Louisville, Kentucky, because tonight is a night that Oklahoma will celebrate and will pay a special tribute to Dr. Clyde Muse. The occasion will be at the Rose State College. The time is 7 o'clock. And I would like to tell you, give people their flowers and their respect while they live. Don't wait until they die and walk in with a lot of resolutions saying, I resolve to remember Dr. Muse. You resolve to support that dinner tonight. Yes, I want you to do that. Dr. Clyde Muse is an humble man. Dr. Clyde Muse is a father, a pastor, and he is one that's dedicated to the preservation of the things that really count. It's easy to talk about religion. It's easy to talk about Jesus Christ, but it's a different subject to prove it. I would rather see one act of kindness than to hear a lot of words and a lot of hallelujahs and all of that. And certainly we've seen that kindness in Dr. Clyde Muse. So those of us here at KTLV salute you today, Dr. Clyde Muse. And we are happy that today we have dedicated our program to you. If you want to understand Christianity, understand Dr. Clyde Muse. Clara Luper reporting, KTLV Radio in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I have a very distinguished guest in the studio here today, one of my own. How are you today?
Just fine, Mother Luper. How are you?
Oh, I'm so happy to be your mother. I have so many beautiful children. It is just wonderful. Somebody say, Clara, how did you get all those children? Let me ask you a question. Why don't you have some children? My children comes in all colors, all sizes, and what have you.
Dean is here.
Dean is here. Dean, I'm so happy to see you, and we certainly miss your voice on KTLV
I
Radio.
miss being out here. Had a lot of fun.
Oh, great. You are one of our best catfish eaters. Tell me about CP's Catfish.
CP's Catfish Cafe. You can't go out to the fair without going to CP's Catfish Cafe and Maryland's Gumbo. CP, that catfish just melts in your mouth.
Tell him, Dean.
It is delicious.
Tell him.
I haven't missed a year yet. This will be their 9th year, and this will be my 9th year.
Well, that is really right. We've been out there 9 years. Isn't that
long
something?
years.
Okay, and you would be there this year. Where will you be working?
Gate 26.
Gate 26, and you're in a position where you can send people after your cafe, after your catfish.
And
That's
gumbo
it.
now. Dean doesn't just do it. But, Mom, before we go on with this interview with Dean, let me let you know that there is a call on the line that wants to make a comment about the person that we're dedicating our program to today, and that's the Reverend Dr. Clyde Muse. Good morning. Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show. How are you doing this beautiful morning?
Well, I'm doing great. Good morning, Calvin. Good morning, Mrs. Luper. This is Dina Red, and I want to say that the tribute to Dr. Muse was just wonderful. I've been under his tutelage, and our families have been close for 36 years now. He came to Oklahoma City in 1964. And one thing I want to say is that Dr. Muse will be featured as the Midwest City Martin Luther King Jr. Prayer Breakfast Committee has selected him to give our opening prayer and comments at the January 2001 Martin Luther King breakfast. And those of you who have never met him or seen him or heard his distinguished voice can see him in January 2001. He's just a wonderful man, and I love him, and he's a father to me as well.
Will you be there tonight?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Okay.
Well, Dina, you know, one question I have to ask, and I love to ask, is what do you think makes him such an outstanding minister and leader there in the community, or there at the church?
His foundation is the Scripture, and he knows it from front to back, and he lives it. He doesn't just preach it, he lives it.
Well, that makes a difference in
And
preaching.
he guides those of us who follow him. And we don't follow him, we follow the Word of God that is spoken through him.
Well, I know he's always there. And I can
Yes,
say
he
that
is.
for him, Dr.
Yes.
Clyde Muse.
Yes, he
Muse.
is.
Okay, well, thank you so very kindly for calling me today.
Thank you, Mrs. Luper.
And we have to say thank you, Dr. Muse. Fantastic job.
Well, that's
you
really
have done
good.
and
Everybody
is
can
doing.
say that about their pastor.
That's
Their
right.
pastor visit
I
them.
mean, it'd be some church members might call, we ask them about their pastor, and then they're going to give us
They say, well, Miss Luper, he doesn't come to see us. He doesn't even come over when people die.
You're
No,
sick,
he's
or
a
you
busy
say?
man. Oh,
Dr.
Dean,
Muse.
I'm so happy to see you, and you would be at gate 26.
Yes, directing people down to CP's Catfish and Maryland's Gumbo.
All right.
You know what to say, don't you, Mom? But Dean's live and in the studio, and we've spent a weekend out here together, Dean and Mom. And those of you out there in the listening audience, I'm sure that you remember him. Great man, great personality. But then to still be working with him and still to see him, I looked out there and I see this guy come up and I popped this little sharp diddy bop dude. And Dean, you've done some other things since you left the radio station here. I know now you're in school and you're trying to do some other things. Tell us a little bit about it. Share with your audience, our audience here on the Clara Luper Radio Show.
Well, I'm up at UCO now, full-time student, and I'm working on a history education degree. So hopefully I can tutor some future leaders of America like Mother Luper has done. I could only hope to walk in the shadow of her footsteps.
Oh, Dean. Okay. Have you had an opportunity yet to go down the Clara Luper corridor there on Northeast, where it was originally Northeast 23rd Street, but from the Broadway extension down to I-35? Have you been down the Clara Luper corridor yet?
Yes, I have, and it
Okay.
is nice. It looks really nice down through there now.
All right. Well, let's go, Dean. Well, Dean, Mom has this question that I have to ask her, and I just want to know, why do you call Mom Mother Luper? You know, why? I mean, out of all the people in the world, I know she has a long history of being a teacher, a long history of being inspirational, but why do you call her Mother Luper?
Well, ever since I've known her personally out here at the radio station, when I first met her in '92, she has always offered her guidance. She's always offered advice in anything that she could. She's been a mother figure, and she reminds me of my mother in a lot of ways. And I know that through her years of experience, she's been a mother figure to a lot of other people. Thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that have crossed her path over the years.
Well, you said it there. I kind of get jealous. People will come up and they say, Mother Luper, this one. Hey, that's my mom. But then I realize I look back through the years at Dungy High School, Dungy School. I look back through Douglas and John Marshall, Northwest Classen, and that I'm really lucky. Merlin and Shelley, all of us are really fortunate to have an opportunity to share the love and the motivation and the dedication Mama can generate from you. You think you're down, and you spend 2 minutes talking with her, and she's encouraged you to go ahead.
Always has an encouraging word.
So
thank you all so much, because as you know, I want all my flowers,
Well,
I
that's
want
a
all
great
my
flower
gifts,
there.
I want everything, and I
Okay.
want my cake. Yesterday I got the most beautiful cake you've ever seen from my longtime friend who used to make fun of my automobile, but you can't do that anymore because I'm driving a different automobile.
Well, that sounds
And
like
my
Vance
sister-
Motor Company, Rodale Hornbeck.
No, Rodale can't bake a cake.
Rodale can't bake a cake.
But I'm very happy that Berlin Nero is out of the hospital, and he would like to thank everybody for remembering him. He say he would like to especially thank the people from his church, the loving St. James Baptist Church that came out, took him to the hospital, and he would like to thank his pastor who came to see him immediately after he got into the hospital. Oh, well, one thing, I've had many experiences, but today I had somebody give me a picture of a cat.
That cat was listening to the radio show one Saturday morning.
Is that the cat?
That's the cat.
Is that the cat?
You need to see the picture. A part of the
cat
show.
has his, that cat's listening to the radio show.
Cat is listening to the radio show. But Mom, we're getting to that part of the program that I love. Thousands of people out there. I didn't realize that it was such a popular thing. But then you were here when we started that, the Weekend Singers. And you've been a part of it. We've grown, man. We've been disinvited to more events than you ever
You've been
thought.
what?
Disinvited.
Would explain that term.
Well, that's where the invitation has been issued. But then the closer they get to the event, the quicker they call us and say, please don't show,
Please don't show. That's really something.
But
I do hope that Kevin Cox and Steve Cladis will show up on the Clara Luper radio show.
That's your representative.
Okay, well, my representative,
Steve Cladis, he's running against him.
Well, that's all right with me. I told you I'm not here to endorse, but I'm here to expose. And I want everybody to know that, so you won't have to worry about me. I'm going to expose you. And that even includes David Hall.
David Hall.
Yes, I told David to get in
forward.
contact with me, but he's suffering from amnesia.
Well, Mom, we have a caller here. Let's see what this caller has to say right quick. No, we don't.
Hello?
No, we don't. I made a mistake.
Okay.
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 But here we
This
go.
is
Let
the
me do
Clara
this
Luper
right quick
radio
because
show.
we are getting
And I'll
ready.
see you tonight. But let me
It's
tell
not
you,
over.
I've dedicated this program to Brother Clyde Muse.
Okay.
And some of you are calling want to know why I didn't dedicate it to your pastor. You tell me about your pastor. And if he comes up to Dr. Clyde Muse, I'll be happy to do it.
Well, Calvin, it's a lot of coming up to do it.
Yeah,
Dr.
it's
Muse.
a lot of, because here's a man that has 9 children.
9
Here's
children.
a man that's pastor of a church and has not only been satisfied to just pastor the church, built a dining room, paid that off, got a community center out there for senior citizens, and who has
Those
time
are
to work
homes
in the
we're talking
community.
about, not
We are
just
talking.
places to
We are
come
talking
sit.
about. We are talking about Dr. Clyde Muse, and I would like to salute you today, Dr. Clyde Muse, as our model. Thank you for being you, and thank God for San Antonio, Texas, where you were born, and thank God you came to the land, the Sooner land, Oklahoma. Calvin, I've gotten a lot of requests for you to sing birthday songs. Your sister, Marilyn Hildred, is having a birthday on the 17th.
It's coming up.
Your
I've
aunt
been practicing
Onita
for that
is
one.
having it on the 18th.
Oh, I got
and
something special in store for that, Mom.
And you
But that's a week away. But this week is a very special week because I'm doing it to a young man, Roy, out at the Oklahoma State Fair that's helping set everything up. Poor Roy. He laughed so hard, but he said, I'll be listening this Saturday morning, Calvin Loop, and I want you to do better than what you've been doing. Roy, I practice a little bit, and
Where's that piano? That Thai piano?
the Thai piano. No, don't be now. We got that coming up because that'll be a special show. But Roy, those of you guys out there at the State Fair that are listening, want you to know that this is a happy birthday song, and including you too, Dean and Merlin and Anita. Don't worry about it. Your September the 17th and 18th birthday song is in the can, as we say. But this goes out to those people who will be celebrating birthdays this week. Happy birthday to you. Ooh. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear kitten. Happy birthday to you.
This is a Clara Luper radio show, and don't forget to go and go out tonight. Those tickets aren't but $20. I would like to urge you to go by Gates Barbershop, 2609 North Martin Luther King. Go by Hometown, 2001 Northeast 23rd Street. And don't you ever forget Rollins Realty, 3001 Northeast 16th, 427 8000. And if you're talking about child care, talk Johnson Shadina, 1643 Northeast 50th Street. Some of you want to know what you can do to help the NACP Youth Council. You know what you can do. Why don't you do what you say you're going to do? You're going to help us. So we need help now. And I would like to thank, and I would like to tell you that T.C. Howard is one of the best
T.C.
treasurers.
Howard.
I've never seen a treasurer as competent as T.C. Howard. Go T.C. Howard, go. You are.
Mom, I have a
so
question though
qualified.
before we go
Yes.
up there. Is like if I'm not registered to vote, what can I do to register to vote before the elections
All you have to
come
do
up?
is to call us. Now, that's something I'm going to work real hard on. And let me tell you something. I want you to register, and I want you to vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for because you got sense enough to know who you want to vote for. But you know we got some people that's not registered. If you aren't registered, you call me at 424-3949 or 424-2384, and I'm going to tell you to get up off of your Constitution and register.
How do they go about it? I mean, they have,
All they have to do is just fill out a little slip and mail it in to the county election board. Now,
you don't,
we
you don't
want
have
you
to be of
vote.
any special religious domination.
No, you don't have to be of any special religious denomination. You don't have. All you have to do is to be 18 by election day. We've got to vote, and next week I